Testing.
Yep. Meeting going. Good afternoon and welcome to the WMU Board of Trustees December 4th meeting. Look forward to having everyone here and thank everyone here live and in person. Dr. Schumann, do we have a quorum?
We do, Chair Edgerton.
Okay, and is the live stream all set for those?
Getting a
doing
thumbs
that?
up. Thank you, Jacob.
Okay, very good. At this time, I'd like to call on the board for a motion to accept today's agenda.
So moved.
Support. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you. Are there any comments from the trustees concerning our meeting minutes from October 30th? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move approval.
Support. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, very great. Well, it's been a great semester for the Western Michigan University, and I know President Cavaluna here is going to give us a little highlight reel in a little bit. But I've just been very excited and very impressed by all the wins by all our athletic teams. It's really something to be very, very proud of. We can, certainly some of us who went to the games, especially the Central game, we took back the cannon, can attest to the energy felt by the students, everyone in the stands. It was just a great time at any of these athletic events. So we've got Bronco Pride, on full display. So we have a lot more to look forward to in today's agenda, which is relatively short, but certainly like it. I mean, I've highlighted the Central game, but you know what? We've got a lot of other things going on in campus that I think are great. President Cavaluna, with the help of Dr. Nago, we've completed that listening tour. We're going to have a report at some point. I mean, the Sleeping Giant commuted, the juice bus for a lot of our students. I mean, I took the tour of the cold case. I mean, we've just got a lot going on this campus, and I'm just as an alum, I'm very proud and excited. We're also approaching one of our more important days. Saturday, December 13th is the graduation for more than 1,100 graduates. I believe they told me it's the 345th commencement, and more importantly, it is going to be President Cavaluna's first time to actually give a diploma versus get a diploma. So, but it's a great time for not everybody that's even on the stage, but also, more importantly for the students who've really put in, a lot of grit and determination, but, also to see the families and their partners and friends, they're supporting those students and acknowledging what great success they are in. And I know as trustees, we always enjoy watching students, kind of up close, put those big smiles on and walk down and get their diplomas. So, if you're able to, certainly join us, and we certainly look forward to having President Cavaluna participate with us this time. Moving on, we've got, this will be my final meeting, I guess, maybe final meeting as chair?
As chair.
Yep, as chair, but, I certainly want to thank all of the trustees, for their dedication and hard work to this university. It's not gone unnoticed. I mean, we have the utmost respect for everybody, and a lot of skill along this table, thoughtfulness, and it has just been a pleasure to serve as your chair. So with that, I'd also like to thank our shared governance partners, Dr. Nago, Claire Binford, who now I have found is a soulmate from Louisville, Kentucky, and President Luke Chrisman. So thank you all very, very, very much. For the agenda, today we're going to hear from our shared governance partners. We've got a special presentation from faculty and student on I'm looking for the voice of Bronco success. And then, of course, we're going to look forward to our Golden Oaks being open in 2026, but with that, we also have to consider housing and meal rates this year for the academic year, so everybody knows, especially if they want to get into Golden Oaks. Consent, we've got some curriculum changes and the personnel report, so somewhat of a light agenda, but with that, I will turn the mic over to President Cavaluna.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, trustees. Welcome back to the greatest university on the planet. And friends and colleagues, happy holidays to you all. I hope you had a safe and wonderful Thanksgiving. I have a couple housekeeping matters that are really, fun housekeeping matters. Sometimes housekeeping matters are, we're going to have to go to this place at this time. But these are actually kind of fun and funny. So the fun one is, wow, I was talking earlier, and it was working fine then. I didn't tell her I was going to do this, but I do want to ask her in a minute to stand up. I want to introduce the interim vice president of DEI, who has been gracious to work with me in filling into a really important leadership role. She's not only in a leadership role in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, but also sits at the cabinet table with me and the cabinet. And already in the few short meetings that she's been a part of, she has been just a wonderful addition in knowledge and vigor, and actually a little bit of humor sometimes too, which is very good, Madam Chair, at that table. Sometimes humor is in short supply. But
Stuff shirts.
But you know, if you hadn't had a chance to see what I had to say about Dr. Gregory, Dr. Danielle Gregory, what I said publicly very recently, please do check your email, colleagues, because we rarely have an opportunity to have someone who is a graduate of Western Michigan University, is from Southwest Michigan, cares deeply about the work that she intends to lead, and then also has a really great, intense vigor for wanting to do the work. One of the things that she said to me when I first met her and I asked her to consider taking this role, it was, she said, you know, I don't want to be a placeholder. If you want me to do this, I would like to keep the work going, and I would like to have the authority to speak as a leader at your table. And I thought, hired, you're the right person for the job. So if you haven't had a chance yet, trustees, I invite you to, after this meeting, please do introduce yourself to the interim vice president, and colleagues from our community, please do the same. And now I'll ask you to stand up, Dr. Gregory, and I want to introduce our interim vice president of DEI, Dr. Danielle Gregory. So the other housekeeping matter is the funny part. I want to say thank you to my fellow presidents, Presidents Binford and Kritzman. Remember, Madam Chair, that they were going to pie me. So the GSA put together a food drive that was utterly successful. I think they said they had to get to 10,000 items in order to pie the president. And they were so nice, if they accomplished it, they were going to pie the presidents, plural. So the three of us sat there right down the stairs, or right up down the stairs, and we got pied. I think, Luke, you took it like 5 times. And Claire, you and I got, I think, something close to that. So if you need photographic evidence, we do have it. It's some of, not the portrait that I want on the website, Trustee Liggins. And they actually had gowns for us. And Kritzman had the goggles on. So shared governance is alive and well at Western Michigan University. Along those lines, we're really excited, as the chair has mentioned, that we're going to have commencement here coming up. For those of you that haven't been to, or have been to commencement, I've asked Dr. Schumann and his team to consider a few changes in the run of show there. So I'll be the kind of person that teases out some interesting things and say, come and see how we changed commencement. My goal is to bring a lot of more voices and excitement. Not that there weren't enough voices, but I'm going to be sharing the stage with at least one important person. So we're also going to be excited to hand out 802 bachelor's degrees. That's very exciting. 280 master's degrees, 19 doctoral degrees, and 1 specialty degree. I will just point out that the 19 doctoral degrees are important for a lot of reasons. All degrees are important, but they're also very important. And one of the things that one of my colleagues, Dr. Ramsey Seeker, is pushing on pretty hard. And I want to thank Dr. Seeker for taking time to talk with the board at our informal dinner last night, who explained that he's continuing to work to push Western Michigan University to achieve R1 status, and one of the metrics to achieve that are doctoral degrees conferred. And so 19 is a healthy number there, and I want to thank everyone from Western Michigan University, particularly those students who are going to receive that doctoral degree. And is Dr. Fuller here? I don't see her, but she's one of my teammates, Madam Chair, who will be becoming a doctor there. And of course, Dr. Seeker, thank you for helping us continue to move that forward. I also want to brag about my friends in Dean Deinhardt's department, which is the College of Education and Human Development. They received a $1.2 million grant to fund the project called SHINE. That's an interdisciplinary project that prepares graduate students to support children in high-intensity needs in the field of early childhood special education. Now, trustees, a $1.2 million grant anytime to support something this worthy. It would be worthy of praise. But I have to tell you, this is not the normal time for grants, which makes this one point. I mean, if we had to calibrate this, Dr. Seeker and Dean Deinhardt, in today's time, to $1.2 million for high-intensity needs in fields of early childhood and special education, we should probably like calibrate that. It's like a $4 million grant. And that's going to help 20 students in the cohort remove financial barriers that they would face. And you know, any of you who've done any of this work with high intensity needs in the field of early childhood and special education, you know this is a desperately needed infusion of cash and development dollars. So I just can't say enough thanks to all the folks from the College of Education, for which I have multiple people in my family who are graduates. But the dean of that college is one of our best, so thank you, Dean Deinhardt. I also want to brag about our radio station, WIDR, for gaining international attention. That's probably not news here. I mean, it happens so often. But 89.1 WIDR FM station has again been recognized as a finalist for one of, and probably multiple of, 16 impressive awards at the 2025 International Student Broadcasting Championship, which is also run by the Intercollegiate Broadcasting Systems Award. And we're the only station to be named as a finalist in the category of Broadcasting System Awards. And we've been named twice in a row, and at least twice in a row in the last 5 years. So if you haven't stopped by to see the studios there, stick your head in there. You'll see it's a student-run organization, which is just fantastic. And they were kind enough to interview me during Bronco Bash, which was exciting. More congratulations. For those of you who haven't been at the Make a Difference award ceremony in a while, I encourage you to do that. We were right in this room, what was it, a week ago, Diane? Yesterday. Oh, man. Wow. It's been a busy 6 months, Madam Chair. Yesterday. Okay. Well, the windows were up. It looked a little different. So the Make a Difference Award is something that I care deeply about because it's a cultural feature for Western Michigan University where folks nominate their peers in their workplace to be held out as someone who makes a difference. It's been going on for 30 years. It's a really wonderful opportunity for us to showcase what is a strength of ours, which is lifting each other up. And I know this because my last time I was here 10 years ago, I was really proud to nominate one of my colleagues. And I remember thinking, I hope that Tom gets this Make a Difference Award. I hope he gets it. And he did. And he got to come and get a picture with President Montgomery, and it was really neat. And so it's a treat for me to be part of that. And I would be remiss if I didn't at least brag on the I believe, 10 folks that got Make a Difference Awards yesterday, Diane. They are Cindy Hetrick from the College of Arts and Sciences, Joe Mills from Grants and Contracts, Terry Wagner from Custodial Services, Emily Sharp, Department of Psychology, Jessica Parks, Office of Information Technology, Mary Ann Stowell from Custodial Services, Patricia Moore, Maintenance. Patricia's probably not here, but she and I had a fun interaction there afterward. Eva Hughes, Office of Student Engagement, and Joshua Conert, Office of Student Transitions. Please give a warm applause for all of them. Okay, Madam Chair, 2 more housekeeping items and then a very important statement of gratitude. So the 2 housekeeping items are, as soon as I finish my statement of gratitude, I would like to invite my colleague, Vice President Bartholomew, to make a short presentation about items in his department over the last fall. And there was one other, Madam Chair, I don't believe we have public comment. And so if you'll allow a change to your agenda, I would like to make a comment in the vein of a public comment toward the end of our board meeting, if you'll allow that. And I'll finish my report now with a statement of gratitude to you. Being the chair of the board is not easy, and I imagine as a graduate, being the chair of the board is not easy. having some experience being a graduate and in a leadership position, it's a weighty experience, but it's really important. And the 6 months that we've been able to share at this table has been particularly gratifying for me because I can tell how deeply you care about this institution, and you share what I believe, which is Western Michigan University is really special. It changed my life. I know it changed your life. And when you are given the chance in this relay race, where someone before you hands the baton of leadership to you, all you can do is do your best and run your race as best as you can, and try to get up when you fall down, and try to cheer on your teammates when they're running behind you. Try to catch up to your teammates when they're running ahead of you. And I don't know if I haven't done the history on this, but I can't imagine there is a lot of chairs who were graduates that hired a president, that beat Central Michigan, that are going to win a MAC championship, that had to deal with a question and whether we're going to change the budget process here. All those things you've done in just the last 6 months. And I speak on behalf of everyone who's a graduate and everyone who had the privilege of being the president, including those who served with you, President Montgomery and myself. We're thankful for your service, and you've made a difference. And if I had the opportunity, yesterday, Diane, I would have nominated you for a Making a Difference award. So I just want to say thank you. You've been a great leader, and I appreciate you.
Thank you all very much. Truly appreciate it. Oh, so I have to do that. You have to do that. Thank you all very much. Really kind words, and I just take a point of personal privilege here. I appreciate it. I mean, you know, we did a search, and President Cavalluna is what this university needs now. As we face things, he has just brought such determination, energy, and focus, you know, for what we need to do for our future. I mean, we're all facing, every university is facing that enrollment cliff at some point, and you know, we've got to be successful in making sure that we stay on top of it and not dropping off of it. And I just feel with the team that we have here, we have the right people, you know, to give direction to him. And let him be the one that runs. We'll follow behind and not catch up. But a real compliment, and I truly, truly appreciate it. Appreciate all your work.
Vice President Bartholomew, do you have a few comments?
Is it a great day to be a Bronco? Oh, it's championship weekend. Come on. Is it a great day to be a Bronco? Yes. Every day is a great day to be a Bronco. President Cavalluna, Trustee Edgerton, appreciate the opportunity to be an agenda filler and go through a few highlights from our fall term. This is timely because I literally just came from our football practice where I had the great honor to be able to inform our team that we swept the MAC football awards. Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. First time in the history of the league, that anybody has swept those. I will be brief and allow us to get on with the agenda. You all know, having heard about our strategic plan, we always measure our successes within our vision statement and our priorities. Our vision statement is comprehensive excellence, which means that every student athlete who commits to us will graduate holistically prepared to pursue their passions in life, will make a high-quality connection with the community that will last beyond their eligibility, and will win a conference championship. Guided by our 6 priorities: leading the country in the holistic development of our athletes, creating the most welcoming and inclusive environment for our staff and students and fans, winning, which are then supported by 3 external priorities: improving our facilities, generating revenue, and activating our community. On the academic side, obviously grades are not in yet. We had a great year last year, but a few highlights to point out. We won the MAC FAR award on the men's side. We swept it on the men's side for the 3rd straight year in our history. That is measured on GPA, retention, and graduation. So what it means is that we are retaining and graduating our athletes at the highest academic level across our entire conference. Our women's programs came in second, so we've got some room to improve there, but proud of what all of our programs are doing. We were awarded that trophy at a game here this year. We will start learning about all district, all academic, all Americans, and we certainly anticipate having those. It got started off the right way. We won the Scholar Athlete of the Year in the Missouri Valley Conference for men's soccer. Both of our soccer programs, over half of our starting lineup, were named Academic All-District, which is the first step towards Academic All-American. And then on the graduation rate side, we had 6 programs with perfect graduation rates. Every single one of our programs exceeded the national average. On the community side, and you know activating the community is important, to date in December, we've done over 3,000 community service hours. They rank you on these things these days, and so we like to win that. We are 4th in the nation, 1st in the MAC. At this time last year we finished 5th in the country. At this time last year, we had 1,500 hours, so we've doubled that up so far this year. We measure community impact in attendance, and certainly student attendance is important to us. Bailey is here from WSA. Bailey sits in my staff meetings so to make sure we get students to our games, so I'm going to give a quick shout out to Bailey since she's here. 2 quick highlights for you in football. Our home opener was our highest home opener in attendance-wise since 17. That was the game after the Cotton Bowl. We had almost 5,000 students there. We almost sold out Central Michigan. We'll work on that. We were a few thousand short. We could have lied like the rest of our peers do in the MAC, but we didn't. We did also had nearly 5,000 students in attendance there. First time since 2016 that we averaged over 20,000 per game in football, so we're proud of that. And then in hockey, continue to see gains there. Record-breaking student crowd. Thank you, Bailey, against Michigan with 2,100. Record-breaking season ticket sales. We've sold out 5 of our first 6 games. Our record for sellouts in a season is 13, so you know we'll be tracking that. Competitively, High Bar finishing 1st in the Learfield Cup last year. Obviously starting off the right way here in the fall. All 5 of our fall teams competed in the conference championship or conference finals if they had a conference final. So women's soccer, men's soccer, and they both competed in the NCAA tournament. Volleyball had a tough loss in the finals. Football, obviously, we're competing for a 4th conference championship Saturday. Women's cross country finished in the top half of the league and their regional, so we're proud of them for sure. Reminder on our priorities, and I'll give you a quick few highlights here. We received for the first time in our history the 1 MAC Institution Award and 1 MAC Student Athlete Award. That award is given to the institution that excels in their inclusion efforts and the development of people and student athletes as leaders. So very proud of winning that institutionally for the first time, and Tyson Lee on our football team winning that award across the entire MAC. Only 1 student athlete is chosen, and we're proud of Tyson. Revenue generation continues to be important. As you know, we were able to see gains here in the last few years, topping off at a $8.8 million raised last year. Halfway through the year this year, we're at 11.6, which represents almost half of all the dollars raised at WMU so far this year. Very much appreciate the efforts of our trustees in supporting these efforts, as well as Mark Lindemood and his staff in advancement to help us realize those goals. And then finally, facilities. You know, we talk about the importance of facilities. We did announce a major renovation of Bill Brown yesterday, but probably the biggest event of the fall was the groundbreaking of what I would consider to be the most transformational project, certainly in the athletic department's history. I think there's those that would say in the history of Kalamazoo and our university as well, the future is bright, and that continues to be on pace to open in fall of 2027. So appreciate the opportunity to update you all. Happy to take any questions from the trustees.
Any questions, comments?
See you Saturday. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos. Okay, I'd like to now bring up our governance partners, Dr. Amy Nago for Faculty Senate.
Thank you. It's always humbling to have to follow President Cavalluna in making comments, his expert orator skills, but I think Dan gives you a run for your money. So good afternoon, Chair Edgerton, members of the board, President Cavalluna, colleagues and guests. On behalf of the Western Michigan University Faculty Senate, I want to thank you for the opportunity to address you today and to share a few updates on our work. It's always a pleasure to be able to highlight the collaboration, creativity, and dedication that's happening across our campus, even during the busiest stretch of the semester when arguably our caffeine consumption is at its annual peak. Several of the Faculty Senate councils and committees are currently drafting or crafting memorandum of action that will be coming forward early next semester. These include revisions to course delivery definitions, updates to global learning outcomes, the creation of student deadlines within the academic appeals processes, and the establishment of a policy for cross-listed courses. In other words, there's been a lot of thoughtful behind-the-scenes work that keeps our academic enterprise running smoothly, even if our work doesn't always make the national headlines. The Executive Board has also begun to explore an inquiry that was raised that would allow students to have access to course syllabi prior to course registration in order for students to be able to make informed decisions in course selection. We're just sort of in the infancy stages of looking into that inquiry. The intention is really to support students in making informed, well-aligned choices during the registration period, because we all know there's nothing like signing up for a course and then discovering the first day of the semester that this has 3 major projects due in the same week. I want to give a few updates from the Senate's councils and committees. The International Education Council reported a successful International Education Week movie night that featured the film Separated. The event was hosted in collaboration with the university libraries, the Lewis Walker Institute for the Study of Race and Ethnic Relations, and the Kalamazoo Immigrant Solidarity Coalition. I think this is a nice example of the powerful partnerships that we continue to build at WMU. That council is also developing a draft of the International Student Experience Survey with the hope of administrating the survey in the spring of 2026. The Research and Creative Scholarship Council is pursuing 3 main initiatives this academic year. This includes examining the impact of artificial intelligence on research and creative scholarship, reviewing research-related policies that may unintentionally limit faculty innovation, and streamlining internal funding and grant procedures so that faculty have equitable and efficient access to all programs and resources they need. So AI may not be able to write our grant proposals yet, but it's certainly prompting important conversations in that area. The Undergraduate Studies Council has established an experiential learning committee to advance and expand experience-driven learning, service learning, and global learning opportunities at WMU. Their work will help ensure students graduate with the kind of real-world experience that employers value and that makes learning at WMU truly distinctive. The Professional Concerns Committee, in collaboration with the Academic and Information Technology Council, have collaborated on drafting a required artificial intelligence syllabus statement. So the approach would preserve instructor autonomy while also ensuring campus-wide clarity. Each instructor will determine the parameters of AI use and whether it is permitted, restricted, or prohibited within their individual courses. The work is really to help set consistent expectations while recognizing that a poetry class, for example, in a data analytics course may view the use of ChatGPT very differently. So that concludes my formal comments. I want to thank you, Chair Edgerton, and members of the board for allowing me to speak with you today. I didn't incorporate into my comments because I didn't realize this was the last board meeting that you would be serving as the chair, and so I just want to also express my appreciation for your partnership and in shared governance and the work that we've done together over the past, I don't know how long, a year and a half, I guess. So thank you so much.
A while. Thank you.
Yeah. And so before I close, I also would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge an important moment for Bronco Nation. As our football team heads to becoming MAC champions, I want to wish them the very best of luck. We're all rooting for them to bring home that title. And so as always, go Broncos.
Any
And I'm available
questions?
to answer any questions.
Any questions, comments? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
With that, I would like to bring up WSA President Luke Chrisman.
All right. Good afternoon, Chair Edgerton, President Kavaluna, the rest of the board, and to everyone in attendance. Once again, thank you for allowing me to speak up here on behalf of the student body. We're going to start off with our favorite subject, allocations. So the Western Student Association's allocations team has had another successful cycle of deliberations, funding 41 different RSOs with a breakdown of 69 events, 19 operational fundings, and 17 conferences for a total of $95,266.53. This was the last deliberations of the semester, and I'm glad to say that over the course of the fall semester, we have helped fund 157 different RSOs, hosting 279 events and 39 conferences. The grand total for funding is $418,864.66. While on the topic of allocations, the team is working on preparing bylaws for the upcoming semester. And as it's still being worked on, I can't say too much about what that will look like specifically, but we are looking at better ways to evaluate and track engagement for RSO events. The team has also been working on their own benchmarking to explore trends in RSO engagement and deliberations and how we can plan for the future of allocations for years to come. Our legislative branch has also been preparing for the upcoming semester. We rounded off this semester with a meeting about stress management and coping skills, which at this point is a much needed thing. And personally, I very much needed this as well. Our highest attended WSA meeting saw 187 students, absolutely crushing our previous attendance records. We hope to continue this engagement through our next meeting starting again January 14th. Last board meeting, I spoke about our free legal aid clinic, and we have concluded our second session this Monday. I'm excited to say that we have legal aid established currently as recurring monthly on the first Monday of every month. Because of winter break, the next session will be on January 12th, the first available Monday of the semester. It's formatted in a way where you can have one-on-one consults between students and a lawyer, allowing for students to get legal advice they need, as well as ending with a group session to learn about the law and hear from our guest lawyers. Although I'm a week late, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I also wanted to share a few personal things that I'm thankful for. I'm thankful, firstly, for the Western Michigan University as a whole. I and thousands of other students call this place our home. We have different stories, different reasons for choosing this campus, and despite all of these differences, we've all purposefully ended up here. I'm thankful for all the opportunities provided at Western, helping me to grow as a student and as a person, from classes to RSOs, from the performing stages of Miller to the football stadium. The university allows the resources for students to thrive and be who they want to be. And finally, I cannot say this enough, but I'm so proud and thankful for our own team in WSA, as well as all the students here. We have 3 members of WSA, technically, because Alex decided to join us again. But I just want to shout them out. We have Maya Bresnow, our Director for Sustainability, Bailey McPhillips, our Chief of Finance, and Alex Kasperzak, our Academic Chair for the Graduate College. Just couldn't leave that one behind. But there are many more, and I just cannot say enough that I am so proud. They are so driven, as well as all students at this campus. I really could not be up here today if it weren't for all the students here. And with that, onward for the brown and gold. I'll take any questions, and thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Luke. Any questions, comments?
Oh boy.
Cavaluna? Oh, boy.
How you doing, Mr. President?
Great.
Any marathons in the last month?
What?
Any marathons in the last month?
No. I'm done for a little bit.
What exams are you taking this month?
So right after this, actually, I'm taking, right after this, I'm taking my piano performance final exam. And then next week, I have a couple of papers in my Thinking with Rivers course, a philosophy of art paper, and then a blue book exam for my philosophy of law class, which Keith Hahn was here yesterday to talk to us, and he was trying to get me to say that I'm going to switch my career path to law, but I'm still thinking about it, but...
So his argument wasn't persuasive yet?
I'm thinking about it.
President Chrisman, I want to say thank you for bringing your organization to have what was a joint cabinet meeting with the WMU Administrative Cabinet. That's a historical feature between our two organizations, but it wouldn't continue without your leadership. So thank you for allowing us to do that. And by the way, for those of you that didn't have the opportunity to be there with us, the WSA put it all together, and it was a theme of under the water theme.
Under the sea.
Under the sea theme. It was a great opportunity. I just want to say to you, I can't imagine how hard it is to work on the weekends, which you do, to prepare for that gauntlet of exams you just outlined, but also to lead the WSA as a shared governance partner that this board appreciates. You've done really good work. You're continuing to do good work. You didn't herald a lot of the things you're doing, so next time talk about the changes you're making at WSA, because I know those are important to you, and I know this board would like to hear it. But for now, just know that the President's Cabinet, and I speak on behalf of the board, to say thank you, and good luck on exams.
Thank you. It's also a lot of concerts that's coming up.
Concerts where you play, not where you attend, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've only got 5 more until the end of the semester.
Okay. All right.
Very good. Thank you so much. All right. President Binford, graduate students.
Good afternoon, Chair Edgerton, members of the Board of Trustees, President Cavaluna, and all in attendance. As we wrap up the semester, I'm grateful for the opportunity to share the work we've accomplished over the past few months, as well as upcoming initiatives currently in development for next year. This fall, the Graduate Financial Allocations Committee awarded conference grants to 18 graduate students. These students will not only gain valuable experience for their own academic and professional futures, but will also return with new ideas and perspectives that enrich our university community. We also awarded 4 grants supporting professional certifications, an expense that can be difficult for graduate students to manage but is vital for their development. In addition, we provided 10 grants to registered student organizations serving graduate students for event support and funded 2 organizations for operational costs. In total, $35,783.41 was distributed this semester to advance graduate student knowledge, professional development, and engagement. During our most recent GFAC deliberations, we completed a thorough review and update of our bylaws. One of the major changes was increasing the number of grants students may receive during their academic program. Master's students may now receive up to 2 grants, and doctoral students up to 3. Previously, all graduate students were limited to a single award. This change brings us into alignment with the graduate college's travel and research grant structure and significantly expands opportunities for student support. We also updated eligibility requirements for registered student organizations seeking funding. Now 40% of an organization's membership must be graduate students for that organization to qualify. This update ensures that our allocated funds more directly support the students they are intended to serve. Now, I would like to take some time to highlight a few incredible graduate students. We recently held our fall 3-minute thesis. Thank you again, President Cavaluna, for serving as a judge. And 9 students took on the very difficult task of explaining their research in just 3 minutes. We awarded scholarships to the 3 contestants with the highest judges' scores, as well as 1 contestant who was voted on by the audience and awarded the title of People's Choice. Our winner of People's Choice was Bincy Binney. Bincy is a PhD candidate in the Department of Chemistry whose presentation was titled Nanobubbles for Mass Spectrometric Applications. Our 3rd contestant was Jana Bakovic, a PhD student in biological sciences. Her presentation was titled Magnetic Fields, Miracle Treatment for Cancer. Our 2nd place contestant was Rosemary Davidson. She is a PhD student in the Behavior Analysis program, and her presentation was titled The Power of Together, Overcoming the Marshmallow Effect. And finally, our 1st place winner was Madison Slater. She is a master's student in the Industrial Organizational Change program, and her presentation was titled Evaluating the Effects of Multifunctional Stations, Direct and Motivational Messaging on Paper Cup Recycling. Each of these students is pursuing impressive, innovative work that showcases the extraordinary talent we have at WMU. It is an honor to work alongside these individuals who are already contributing meaningfully to these fields. We will host our next 3-minute thesis competition in the spring, and one of our 1st place winners will get to represent Western at the regional competition in Kansas City this March. Looking ahead to next semester, we are excited about several upcoming projects, including more community building events and the return of the GSA Gala, now with a small award ceremony to recognize outstanding graduate students in their research. We look forward to continuing to strengthen community, celebrate student excellence, and elevate the graduate student experience. I would also like to take a moment to thank all of the shared governance partners for their support over this last semester as GSA is still in their growth period and rebuilding, especially President Kritzman, who I have more than once gone down to his office and been like, am I doing this right? So thank you. I would also like to thank Chair Edgerton for all you have done for Western in your role and for all the support and advice you have provided for GSA. Thank you, and we will have to talk Louisville again soon. And of course, go Broncos. I'm going to be at the game this Saturday, and I can't wait. I'm wishing the best of luck to the football team, and thank you for your time. I can take any questions.
Anyone, questions, comment? President Cavaluna?
President, how many exams do you have?
I have a final on Tuesday, and then I have 3 essays. Yes.
When are the essays due?
The essays are due next Sunday. I feel like I should know that more. I shouldn't be questioning when they're due.
Well, I guess the question would be then, how far along are you on these? Next question.
It's early.
I really hope none of my professors are watching right now.
Plenty of time. Don't worry about it. Yeah, plenty of time.
Says the lawyer. Thank you for inviting me for the 3-minute thesis. That's a wonderful, wonderful event. Trustees, if you haven't had a chance to see that, you should. It's great. Madam President, invite them to judge. That's a good way to get people to be there. And thank you for sponsoring that program. I'm excited. You said that you're going to redo that in the spring, and that one of the successful contestants in the spring will go on to the either regional or national. You said, will there be any of the contestants that I saw and judged that will go on, or is the broader geographic competition after the spring?
The regional competition will be in March, and it will be either Madison Slater, who you did see at this past competition, or the winner of our spring competition, and the graduate college will actually be the one to determine that.
Between whoever wins in the spring and Miss Slater?
Yes.
And you said Miss Slater was the study associated with what humans interact with when they decide to recycle cups?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right.
That
Well,
was
thank you
great.
for doing that. I count me in for judging again, and count trustees in too.
I will.
That's all the
you.
questions I have, Madam Chair.
I just want to make one comment about WSA and GSA as a whole. In my years of serving on the board, it has been just amazing the amount of growth in each of those organizations and the amount of work that these students put in. They've got jobs, they've got studies, they have, hopefully a social life. But the amount of work that they talk about when they come up and do a presentation is just amazing. It's like, I don't even know when you guys sleep. Maybe you don't sleep. I don't know. You're young. So, but anyways, it's just truly impressive. And I've had a chance to, work through several presidents now. I mean, Alex is there and a couple of others. And it's just impressive to see these organizations grow as much as they are and grow professionally in terms of doing things. So Western should be very proud of that. So anyways, thank you very much. You have a good holiday.
Thank you.
President Cavaluna, the mic is yours for Voice of the Broncos.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Here today present the voice of the Broncos' success is Dr. Joan Harrington. Come on up, Dr. Harrington. She's the director of the School of Theater and Dance, and Jack Austin, a talented music theater performance senior who's here at Western. And I don't want to take away from the anticipation of their presentation or steal their thunder, but I will say this. Jack recently captured the attention of music legends for his outstanding musical talent. I'm excited for all of you to hear his story, along with remarks from Dr. Harrington about his journey to success, not only here at Western, but in front of international audiences. So, Dr. Harrington, welcome to the microphone.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting us today. We're happy to be here. I have been a proud Bronco for over 30 years, and from my perspective, I have the best job on campus. Each day, I work with 330 smart, creative, dedicated young artists, actors, dancers, theatrical designers and technicians, arts and stage managers, and music theater performers. They are passionate about their craft, and they are passionate in their commitment to change the world through their art. The success of our school and its consistent contribution to the reputation of the university is evidenced in the success of our graduates. Go to Broadway, there are Bronco alums. Go to the movies, Bronco alums. Watch TV, take a cruise, watch the Grammys, head to Chicago Shakes. On and behind all of those stages are alums of the School of Theater and Dance. They are successful because in our school, what they learn in the classroom is immediately applied through experiential learning. Experiential learning has been embedded in the fabric of our work at WMU since day one. And not only do we expect them to practice their craft on campus, but they also work professionally before they graduate. This might and has included stepping away from WMU to join the Broadway production of West Side Story, to be a blue man, or to serve as the assistant company manager for Hamilton in New York City, all before they graduated from Western. And in one of our proudest moments, one of our students was selected to appear this fall on The Voice. I am pleased to introduce to you a current musical theater performance student who exemplifies everything that we value in our work, Jack. He is entrepreneurial, he is super talented, and he is a really, really lovely human being. Now, acceptance into our music theater program is impressive. Our program is statistically more competitive than Harvard. But Jack's acceptance onto The Voice, for which tens of thousands of people audition each year, is perhaps just a bit more impressive. My friends, I am so proud of this WMU student, and I invite him now to share with you some thoughts on his journey. Jack?
Hey. Thank you so much for having me. When Joan asked me last week if I would join for this meeting, I was like, the Board of Trustees, they want to talk to me? Like, this is a big deal. But it's no big deal, right? Okay. I want to apologize because I'm not as prepared as I wish to be for this. You know, it's a busy couple weeks. We open our senior showcase tonight, Next Stop Broadway at the Gilmore Theater Complex, which I invite you all to come see, alongside finals, of course. And I actually released a new song today, so it's been a busy week. But all to say, I am just so honored to be here, and I can't thank you all enough for the support that Western has shown me from my entire journey, but especially this semester being on The Voice, which was a dream come true and an awesome, awesome experience that I've dreamed of having since I was a little kid. You know, I watched that show growing up, and I never really thought that the chance that I would get to step on that stage would ever happen, but it did, and a lot of that is thanks to Western and the incredible faculty like Joan and all the teachers and all the students and everyone involved in anything with Western or the theater department. I truly could not do it without them. The Voice was an incredible experience and something I could talk about forever, really. There's so many different things that go along with that experience, but I want to say the best part of that experience was the family that I made out there. There were about 80 contestants on, for the auditions, and we were out there for a good amount of time, which you really don't realize. But we became a family out there, and it was people from all around the world, all different walks of life, and everyone was there to sing, but everyone had their own unique talent. And what this reminds me of is our theater program at Western. Everyone is there doing similar things, but everyone has a talent that is uniquely them. And our program is doing incredible work, thanks to people like Joan and Jay and all of our teachers there. And like I said, I would not have been able to do it without them. I've learned so much about myself as a performer, but also as a person through this program, which I am so, so grateful for. And I believe that WMU has the chance to become one of the top nationally recognized fine arts programs because we see how successful our students and our alumni are doing. We have four alumni on Broadway tonight. Tonight, there are 4 Broncos on Broadway. The College of Fine Arts is making a national name for Western. I was so proud that I got to say that I was from Western Michigan University on The Voice. It was one of my proudest moments. But also being said, we also need to make sure that we are giving the support to the College of Fine Arts because it is truly remarkable what they're doing over there. It seems to be that the fine art budget shrinks and shrinks as it goes on throughout the years, but we are still doing tremendous work with the money that we have, and we are doing bigger productions than we've ever done before, even if the money shrinks. And fine arts students, really all students, you know, it's very hard to afford school. And I think we really need to make an effort to push for more scholarship money, especially for the fine arts students as well. The fine arts students are athletes. We use our bodies. Our bodies are our instruments. And it's taxing to do what we do. And I think it's really important that we give the opportunity to give more money to those students because they are making Western nationally recognized. So I think that is extremely, extremely important. I can't thank you enough for having me today. It's such an honor to stand up here. I am so, so, so proud to be a Bronco. I can't go on enough. I'm from Battle Creek. I'm not from far. Western has been a part of my life forever. So I'm just so, so proud to be up here today. And I can't thank you all enough, you know, from the support online to the support in person from the board and from faculty and students from my time on The Voice. And even before that, I just can't thank you enough. And I'm just so so proud and so grateful. So thank you so much. I can take questions. I don't know if you have any for me, but I can take them.
Anybody have any comments or questions or?
Yeah. Yes, I released a song today. It should be available wherever you listen to music, Spotify, YouTube. Yeah, it's really exciting. I'm excited. Yeah.
Let me try again, Madam Chair. How would we follow you online? What are your socials? What's the name of the? Do a little self-promotion.
Okay. I mean, I think if you look up Jack Austin on like Instagram or Facebook or whatever, I'll pop up. Yes, if you look up Jack Austin on The Voice on YouTube, you can see the performances I did on there, which I'm super proud of. So yeah.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, Jack, what high school did you go to in Battle Creek?
Lakeview High School.
Lakeview, okay. I went to Marshall High School.
Oh, did you?
I did, and I have a cousin who's at Lakeview now. Were you in the new high school there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you ever remember the old high school?
Yeah, it's the middle school.
Yeah. That was where I played basketball against.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Was it the Spartans?
Yeah.
Yes, the Spartans.
Yeah.
Okay. Exams. This. You said you had exams. How many?
I have a good amount. I mean, tonight we open Next Stop Broadway, which is our exam for our workshop class, and then I have vocal juries on Monday, which is just our voice lessons with the songs we work on during the semester, and we get to sing them for the faculty. And I have like a paper and a presentation and a dance final. So yeah, it's a lot going on.
How's the paper coming?
Pretty good. Rough draft finished. Rough draft finished. Yes.
Wow. How many pages?
I think it's like 6 or 7.
Are you allowed to use AI in it?
No.
Okay.
Not like to write.
Okay.
No.
Trustee Liggins asked what was the outcome on The Voice?
Yeah, so I made it, I got 3 chair turns out of 4, which I'd say is pretty good. No. And then I went on to the battle round where we get paired. I got paired up with a trio, the only trio on the show, which was a lot. But honestly, a thing that I talked about there was my musical theater training helped me a lot in that moment. Everyone else really was battling one other person, but I was used to being on the stage and sharing it with awesome artists, and so I kind of knew how to navigate sharing a stage with more than what would be 2 people, which is normal for that round. They were a country trio. We got kind of a country pop song, which was kind of different for me. But yeah, I just went out there and I did my best. He ended up, my coach, I started being coached by Niall Horan from One Direction. Any One Direction fans out there? I don't know. And then he ended up picking the trio to move forward, but Michael Bublé used his one steal on me. So he stole me, and then I moved to his team, did a round with him, and that's where my journey ended. But I mean, it was an awesome experience. Like kind of what Joan said, I think there's like 90,000 people that audition for The Voice, and only 80 get to go and audition, and then only like 60 get to actually make a team. So I was just really proud of myself that I made it that far, and my goal was to just get on that stage and do my best, and anything after that was just a blessing. So yeah, I'm super grateful and excited for what's to come too, working on a lot of new music, and yeah, even like the Facebook today was, posted, they surprised me with like a swag bag at one of our area recitals, and they posted the pictures from that today and said to listen to the song. So Western has just been so great and so supportive, and I couldn't be more grateful. Yeah, thank you everyone.
What happens after Western for you?
Well, the plan right now is to move to New York. We have our showcase in March in New York, the senior musical theater class, and we'll try to get agents. I've been doing some auditions, and I like to think that I'm versatile in different ways. I'm a songwriter. I would love to do like TV, film, acting as well, and I'd love to do Broadway. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just trusting the process. This kind of field of study, there's not really like an outline. If you're like gonna be a doctor, you're just kind of like, this is what you do, and you do this, and you have these courses, and this is how you do that. But for a career like this, it's really hard to navigate. There's no right way. There's so many ways to accomplish different things. And that's honestly why support is so necessary for artists. There's not a guideline. It's kind of just seeing what bites and how to do it. I auditioned for American Idol, made it to, before the taping, made it to the final round. They ended up not choosing me. They said I was too theatrical, whatever that means. I think that's a great thing to be, honestly. Auditioned for The Voice last year, made it to a final callback, didn't get it, and then this year I tried again. I tried so many different ways to show what I love to do, whether it be on social media or auditioning for reality TV singing competitions or auditioning for regional theaters, local theaters, Westerns productions. So there's really no outline. But also that kind of makes it fun, So
I've got no doubt you're going to be fine.
I hope so.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Jack. We really
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you. Yeah, I think Joan wanted to say something real quick, so. Yes. She's incredible. Yes. Thank you so much.
Great. Dr. Schumann, any public comments?
We do not have any.
Okay, but President Cavaluna, I believe you wanted to have a comment?
I think at the end, yes.
Yeah, at the end.
You're going to do it at the end?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Perfect. We'll move on to the action items today. Student housing and mill rates. Diane, thank you very much for coming up.
I just have to say to all the students that spoke, you all were awesome. My heart is full and very proud. It was just awesome to hear you all. So, Trustee Edgerton, before I make my remarks, I just want to thank you because you have been a joy. You have been an absolute joy to work with. So we will miss you in that role, but we thank you for your service. So thank you so much. So, Trustee Edgerton, members of the board, President Cavaluna, colleagues, and friends, today I am coming before you with our rate recommendations for student housing and meals for the 2026-2027 academic year. Providing an exceptional student experience is the top priority for Western Michigan University's housing and dining operations. Building relationships while sharing meals, getting connected with peers through residence hall programs, developing skills and meaningful work experiences as student employees all contribute to our students' overall educational achievement and well-being. None of this would happen without the work of some exceptional staff that I want to introduce you to today. I have several talented teammates here today that I want to introduce you to and let you acknowledge them for the work that they do with our housing and dining operations in particular. Rashona Porter, Director of Housing and Residence Life, would you please stand? Matthew Worth, he is our Director of Dining, just joined us, how many months ago? 3 months ago from Syracuse University. They are both in the portfolio of Dr. Barry Olson. Barry, would you stand? He is our Associate Vice President for Campus Life. I would also like Nicole Kombach to stand. She is our Senior Director of Business Operations. She keeps us all on the straight and narrow and does a fabulous job. And there's one other person I would like to introduce. Janice Quakenbush, would you please stand? Janice is our Director of Finance and Infrastructure, and she has been the brainchild behind many of our housing and dining projects over the last 10, 15 years. So a lot of what you see on campus has her touch. So I wanted to acknowledge Janice as well. Thank you. One more colleague I would be remiss not to introduce, and that's Dr. Retha Ravindran. She's with us today. She's our Associate Vice President and Dean of Students. So much of what happens in the residence halls and the dining halls, she has her hand in as well. So Dr. Retha Ravindran. So thank you all very much. As you know, I typically bring these recommendations late spring, early summer, when we have more information about the budget landscape, along with information about what other public institutions are doing. So you may be wondering, why am I coming in December? With that said, the 2026-27 year is a very special year for us, and it is the year we will be opening the Golden Oaks Residence Hall, the first new housing in the valleys since the 1960s. So catch that, first housing in the valley since the 1960s. So it's probably time that we do this. So we're really very excited about it. Golden Oaks is receiving a lot of statewide and national attention because it is the largest mass timber build housing project in the state. The new 276,000 square foot residence hall will house nearly 1,000 first-year students and is designed to both embody and enhance the student experience. The project includes 2 courtyards, one for recreation and another for quiet contemplation. Inside, students will have access to a large central lounge, community kitchen, laundry, multi-purpose rooms, a collaboration hub, and a health and well-being studio. Because Golden Oaks is a new build, we need to establish rates now so students can begin planning where they might want to live next fall. Prior to determining the new residence hall rates, an analysis of on-campus rates and comparable new build residence halls in Michigan was completed. The Golden Oak rates I bring to you today reflect an average premium upcharge of 24%, which is actually on the low side when compared to other upcharges for new build residence halls in the state. The cost for a double in Golden Oaks would be $338 or 8.5% more per semester than a double in Western Heights, just to give you an idea of what that actually looks like. It is important to note that we continue to offer a variety of price points throughout our housing system as we are mindful of costs for our students and their families. In addition to new rates for Golden Oaks, I am recommending a 3.5% increase across the housing and dining portfolio, with one notable exception. The traditional Valley Henry single rate would be decreased by 5.5% so that it aligns with the portfolio pricing structure. Western Michigan University has the benefit of an outstanding self-operating dining program. Over the past decade, we have replaced all our dining units and added several retail operations. Customer satisfaction remains high. Students appreciate the variety of options, number of locations, and quality of the food. The cost of operations continues to be a factor we need to consider as we prepare our rate recommendations for you. So with all that in mind, it is recommended that the administration be authorized to implement rates for 2026-2027, which includes the new rates for Golden Oaks, a 3.5% increase to Western Heights, a 3.5% increase to double and continuing single traditional Valley and Henry residence halls, a 5.5% decrease to single traditional Valley and Henry residence halls, a 3.5% increase to apartment rates, and a 3.5% increase to meal rates. These rates will be effective fall semester 2026. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, anyone questions, comments? Anyone? Nope, all right. Thank you, Diane.
You're welcome.
Okay, with that, I'll entertain a motion to accept the resolution as proposed.
So moved.
Support. Okay, roll call?
Chair Edgerton,
Yes.
Vice Chair Turfy,
Yes.
Trustee Chen Zhang,
Yes.
Trustee Hoadley,
Yes.
Trustee Liggins,
Yes.
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Wood.
Yes.
Chair Edgerton, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next on the, is the consent items. Normally, we just vote in block on those, but I would like to ask Dr. Cheatham to give us a little background on the curriculum changes that come out and maybe how these perform. I mean, we get them kind of in a block, but give us a little more background.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Edgerton. And what's guaranteed to be the highlight of this meeting, not athletic MAC championships, not Jack and the Voice, but I get the pleasure of talking about the curriculum change review process. So, and I want to give thanks to Chief Merlot and Deputy Chief Onyx for maintaining order during this presentation because curriculum brings a lot of passion. And so, so you should always start with a joke, I heard. And so I scoured or had Google scour the internet today for a joke about higher education curriculum review process. There was none, zero. So what every good academic does is you go to ChatGPT. And so I said, I need a joke that's appropriate for a board of trustees meeting. So it came up with that this was overheard in the halls of academia. Quote, we just finished our curriculum review process. As always, it was a model of efficiency. Every time one committee agreed on something, another committee met to reconsider whether they should have agreed. So now with all seriousness, thank you. I'll be at the Laugh Factory at 10. So what is the curriculum review process? And I want to acknowledge that the content for this very brief presentation is really comes from the work of the Faculty Senate. And they have wonderful resources on their website and the work that the committees do. So these words are due to a lot of hard work on their part. And if anybody wants to have even more knowledge about this, there's a wonderful 19-page document on their website that really goes through the entire process. So I do want to acknowledge that and thank them for all their work. So the curriculum change process is initiated by departmental faculty members, and it involves a series of reviews steps by faculty committees and university administrators. The goal of this process is to produce curriculum improvements that provide value to students and employ university resources efficiently and effectively. This process is really one of the key elements and examples of shared governance at this university. So what kind of changes are included in the curriculum review process? Some would say everything, but it's newer revised courses, newer revised academic programs, accelerated degree programs, offering an academic program at a new location, or adding an online aspect, or transitioning to online, deletions of courses and academic programs, suspending an academic program, and changes to admission requirements. Those are the types of things that get reviewed in the process that we'll talk about. So what is the volume of curricular changes? A lot. Just to give you some data, from July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2025, there were 714 curricular review changes or proposals submitted. 58.2% of those were at the undergraduate level, 41.8% were at the graduate level. Undergraduate program changes constituted 25.8% of the undergraduate proposals. 53 proposals were related to WMU Essential Studies. And what's really a key aspect, assessment data was used in 74% of the proposals to justify and help provide evidence for the suggested changes. And the things on a curricular change form that are requested are things like a justification. How will this impact students? Does this impact our community college partners? What are the resource needs? What are the student learning outcomes? That's really the questions that faculty provide really robust responses to justify some of the changes. So what does the process look like? And that's what you see on your screen right now. And again, thank you to the Faculty Senate's documentation for helping this, or putting this together. So if we start on the left-hand side, this is really what all proposals go through. So without reading all aspects to you, you can see that it's a very multi-level approach that has a lot of oversight to it. It starts typically with a faculty member proposing a change. It works through a department faculty, and some departments have their own curriculum committee. It then gets reviewed by the department chair, college curriculum committees, the college dean, our curriculum manager, who is a faculty member, Lisa DeShano-Cook. And then in some special instances, it gets routed to another level, like if it's a graduate change, it goes to the grad college dean. If it's related to teacher education, you can see a step there. Or if it's related to West, there are very specific committees for that. Then it can go to the registrar's office for implementation if it's a course or a program change. If it's more robust, such as a new program, a program remaining, a deletion, then it continues on to the right-hand side. And these proposals are further reviewed by an undergraduate studies council or a graduate studies council, and these are faculty senate committees that are all the members are faculty members. Then it comes to the provost, to the president, and then it ends up as a consent item here on our agendas. For things like programs and new programs and degrees, there's one other step, and that is really, while it's non-binding, there is an agreement that we submit new programs to the Michigan Association of State Universities. And the academic officers, we meet monthly and we review these programs and get a little bit of a say on if XY University is proposing a program, our faculty can provide comments or questions, and it's a very collegial aspect to it. And then it gets implemented, and typically for the subsequent academic year. And you can see some of the deadlines. October 31st is a date that's ingrained in everyone's head, because if you want, use an example, if you want a curriculum change to be effective starting in fall 26, then that proposal had to get out of the college by October 31st of this year. If you miss that deadline, then you will wait a semester or possibly a year, depending on what the change is. So it's a very deliberate process. It is, I joke, but there's a lot of passion that relates to it, and the Faculty Senate has done really good work on defining what appeals are and such, but it's really a hallmark of shared governance. So I appreciate the opportunity to take a few minutes to explain this and be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Any questions for Dr. Cheatham? Thank you very much, though.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. With that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent items.
So moved.
Okay, roll call.
Chair Edgerton.
Yes.
Vice Chair Turfy.
Yes.
Trustee Chen Zhang.
Yes.
Trustee Hoadley.
Yes.
Trustee Liggins.
Yes.
Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Wood. Chair Edgerton, consent items pass.
Thank you, Dr. Schuman. Now, general public comments.
While there are none, President Kavaluna indicated he'd like to make some remarks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's been a little bit more than 5 months since I've been with you in what I call my third tour at WMU, and I would like to take an opportunity to report out a bit of what I have done and seen in a rather summary fashion. Later today, my intention is to circulate an email to the entire university community on some of the items that I'll be discussing. And most of what I'll be sharing with you today is based on the work that, frankly, you, Madam Chair, and the President of the Faculty Senate, and many others, including Dr. Schuman, helped, which was what we called the listening tour. For the last 5 months, we've been spending time, frankly, with any group who asked for time, to listen and learn. And through the real effective leadership and stewardship of you and President Noggle, we've been asking our colleagues here, our students here, our community members here, essentially what's working at Western Michigan University, what may not be working, and where should we be heading. And in the beginning of next semester, my plan is to circulate a more thorough review of everything we heard, but I thought I might take a minute here at the end of the calendar year, because the listening tour has come to a completion, to give you a bit of feedback of what we've heard. And one of the things that I want to remark to you that is just so exciting, frankly, for me, is the optimism with which I see this institution for having an opportunity to have a bright future, a future that is associated with growth and development. And I mean growth in all senses of the word. Of course, we would like to grow in our enrollment for reasons that I think everyone knows, but it's also a qualitative growth. We really do see Western as a place that is on the rise. And I heard that throughout the listening tour. I got to tell you, I was hoping I'd hear that, but if I hadn't, I wouldn't be saying that. And so one of the things I just want to tell you is Western has always been special to me. Since I was a little guy coming to Lawson, since I was a student here, since I was a mid-level administrator. Western is an idea that is bigger than anyone at this dais, bigger than any one of the folks that are out there or the students that we are privileged to serve. Western is this idea that if you come here, you're going to be around a bunch of people who believe in this sense that if we work together, we're going to be the portal for human development. You literally will change lives, whether it's your own life as a student or whether it's the lives that you have the blessing to teach and be around. The idea of Western is what endures. It's what got me to be who I am. It's what I've heard throughout this time when I asked to be your president. It's what I've heard in the presidential listening sessions. And it's still really strong. I'm really proud of this place. And I will tell you the first thing that I feel when I'm around these people, I enjoy it so much I can't even remember where I was yesterday, feeling it. And an example of that's right in line with what we just saw with Dr. Harrington and Jack. I was at an event where we're celebrating people who have spent 25 years here as employees, where I'm sure Dr. Harrington was 5 years ago, because she's been here 30 years, still full of the vigor and passion of this idea I'm telling you about. I'm sitting at this table, and at one side, I've got a person who has been teaching here for 25 years, who started at Woodhall, is a PhD, a leader in the faculty, frankly, the president of the Faculty Senate. And right next to her is a person who has been here 25 years, who has been keeping the buildings in this institution safe and clean and a place that is welcoming. And I asked the person who had been here for 25 years, doing the hard, important work of keeping these buildings clean, where'd you start? I started in Woodhall, she told me. And so then I asked the faculty member, where did you start? In fact, I didn't even ask. I think she just said, by the way, that's where I started here at Western 25 years ago. And I said, do you know where I was 25 years ago? I was in a classroom at Woodhall. And we were full of this group of people who had been here 25 years, invested in this idea that is bigger than ourselves. And the circle at that table was just one little microcosm of what Western was 25 years ago, what it was, I suspect, 100 years ago, and what it can be going forward. A place that is committed to this idea of human development that we get the privilege of being a part of today to grow. And that's what I've learned in this listening session, is that we are on a path of growth. We are going to continue to chase excellence and achieve more. And underneath that, there were some themes, Madam Chair. One of them was what I just talked about. Everyone who is here, who had the time and effort to come to these listening sessions, even if they had things that they think we're messing up, to a person, they're proud of Western and they want and see a future that is bright and growing. The second is, and this is where there's actionable feedback, because I wasn't surprised there'd be pride in us, but what I needed to hear is where do we need to improve? And one of the things was that we operate as employees at this institution in what people consistently call silos, where on no one's intent, but through the actions and execution of how we do these jobs, the person in this department may not necessarily know what's happening in this department. And they may actually be doing the same thing, possibly causing duplication. Or maybe they're doing one thing in this direction and one thing in this direction, and through no bad will are actually pulling in opposite directions. And that we haven't really worked to try and figure out how to work through the silos. Another consistent theme I heard was leadership was not always as transparent about what the problems are that we're tackling, what the decisions that were made and why to tackle those problems. And even broader than that, where are we all headed so that there's not two departments pulling in different directions? This idea of transparency in leadership came up over and over. A more specific and small case, or not small, but clear problem that needed to be addressed was almost universal dislike and distrust of the budget model that the university operates under. Not that it was built because of bad will, but because it, through no intention, potentially gave us incentives to compete amongst each other inside of the institution through the walls of the silos. And the last that I'd say is, we weren't really sure that we had the capacity to make strategic decisions as a university that were at least in the direction that we could all at least understand and possibly gain a consensus that we're driving in the same direction. And I have to tell you, those are important things to hear, but they're, in my mind, things to be optimistic about, that we can have an open dialogue where people from all over the institution can tell the board chair, the faculty senate president, and the new president of the university, these are things we need to work on. And by the way, we frankly agree on most of that stuff. And so when I report out, Madam Chair, at the beginning of the next semester, the more thorough analysis of what happened in the listening sessions, I will give more detail on that. But it didn't seem right to be responsive to those things to wait until January. And so I'm here to tell you that there are a couple things we're going to move on right away to be responsive to what we heard across these listening tour sessions. One is that through the leadership of Dr. Cheatham and Vice President Vanderklay, and interacting with many, many members of our community, all of whom want a new budget model, we're ready to bring to you, board, and to you, community, a new way to fund this college's and this university's important goals and strategies in a way that will detail in more detail from a message to me today, but will be clear that we're going to eliminate what folks call the tax. We're going to be more clear about where we're devoting resources and the expectations for those resources, not because we think that a centralized process is the best, but because a decentralized process led to competition that we didn't feel held us together. A second thing that we'll begin operating today at the cabinet is we want to be clear that if Vice President X has a need, that they need to hire a position, and Vice President Y actually has that met already, that Vice President Y and Vice President X understand what the needs are in hiring. And by the way, the most important thing we have here is our employees. We spend the most money on employees because it's the most important thing. But goodness, we have to be strategic on who we're hiring. And if we have vacancies, we need to be able to explain to leaders and across the institution why we need to invest in these positions. And so for vacancies or new positions, again, not people currently employed, but for vacancies, particularly those that have been held open for a while but still budgeted, we're going to be talking about those things at the cabinet table so that no vice president is unaware of where the most important monies are being spent. Every vice president will understand where the monies are being spent, and the most important monies are always being spent on our teammates. And we'll start with those positions that were either vacant or are new positions or are paid $100,000 or more and are vacant now. The last thing that we'll do very soon is issue a request for proposals that asks external entities to give us help thinking through how are we going to get to a place where we can make strategic decisions? How are we going to get to a place where we will grow and we will invest? Because that's what it's going to take. We are going to have to invest in our future. How do we get best practices here? And I have to be honest with you, I was proud of what I heard at my cabinet. And it was, we want to learn best practices, and we historically haven't been great at this. So we're asking for someone to give us some help to think through what are the best practices to make strategic decisions. And I want to be clear, not to redo our strategic plan, not to undermine any particular group. Let me be very clear. This is not about cuts. It's about understanding where we invest so that we can grow. And to be transparent, this RFP that we will launch will be available to any one of you all to see. And frankly, if you want us to get feedback on the RFP, let me know. Or let the two people who are going to run the process to select the consultant, who are Vice President Vanderklay and Vice President Bartholome, and a host of community members that I'll outline today in a message. Let us know, because that's what we heard. We want to get more strategic. We want to understand what the left hand and the right hand are doing and make them come together, and we might need some help to do that. We will look across the institution, and colleagues, if you are in a place where you think we need to be more efficient, where you have an idea, bring it to me or the two leaders of this committee, and you're going to learn all the names on the committee soon. Bring it to us, because we know that you all have the answers, but we also know we might need a little help building the musculature to do the analysis, which is what we're going to ask an external entity to help us with. The final thing I want to say on that is we're going to look across the institution with one exception. Right now, we're going to hold internally the ability to look at our own academic programs. And we're going to build a process to start talking about that, because frankly, that is an internal discussion. And so Dr. Cheatham and I will work together with our partnership to begin the discussion internally about how we get together and understand where we're pulling as an academic affairs unit. How do we want to grow and improve? And again, this will not be about disinvestment. It will be about strategic investment that I know we can do together. And frankly, that part would be a mistake to do with outside help. And so, Madam Chair, those are the things that I'll outline in an email to the entire university later today, and then a more thorough outline of this listening tour that we conducted. But I'll end on this. I am utterly optimistic about this place. I have bet my career on this university more than once, and I'm back because I want to triple down on this institution for growth and prosperity. And the reason I'm so optimistic is because I've looked at and heard the folks who work here for the decades they've worked here. I've seen students like Jack, and as amazing, as wonderful as he is not unique. Western Michigan University has always been, and it will continue to be, the producer and the uplifter of the talent that we just saw there. And so I'm really excited to go into the end of this semester and have commencement. I'm very excited about the initial responses we've given to what we've heard that I've outlined here. And as always, I'm not perfect. No one here is here perfect, but part of our leadership structure here will be an open door for feedback. Because I promise you, Madam Chair, this administration will listen to feedback and give thoughtful responses, which is why I asked for some time today to do just that. So, to those of you who have questions, send them to me. To those of you that don't have questions, I need your help. We're going to move forward and grow. And I appreciate you, Madam Chair, for giving me a time to summarize that.
Thank you, President Cavalluna, for that comment. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you all very much, and have a safe and happy holiday.